Why do toddlers stare at anyone with a physical disability, bro? Listen, I know they're like little kids, bro, but why do you have to do everything but look away from that person with that very apparent disability? Just why? Why do they do this? It makes me get the worst secondhand embarrassment ever, bro. This makes me feel even worse, bro, because when I was like 5, I did the exact thing. I remember I was staring at this woman with this very apparent medical problem, and I literally was staring at her for so long, and she was smiling and laughing. Thank God she was like not mad, bro. Thank God she knew that I was like a stupid little freaking kid. That's dumb. I wish I could throw my younger self off a freaking bridge in the cliff, bro.
I put my phone on silent to focus, then panicked when I couldn't find it because it wasn't freaking ringing. Spent 10 minutes flipping cushion like I was on the detective show only to find it was in my hand. Like the betrayal run deep. So what about you guys?
Me and my brother literally have a whole seating arrangement in our car. We've had the same seating arrangement in our car for years, like 6 years. Honestly, sometimes I get jealous of my brother's seat in the car because sometimes he just gets the best views ever, especially when we're on long car rides. But whenever I try sitting in his spot, I just hate it. It just doesn't feel right whatsoever. It feels like I'm committing a heinous crime. No matter what though, the right side of the car will always be the best side. It's just my favorite side. I honestly dislike raising my hand in class. It's because I hate when I'm wrong. So I literally never raise my hand in class unless I'm sure my answer is right. But whenever my classmates raise their hand and they answer a question and they're right, I regret not raising my hand. Because my answer was also right, but I just decided not to raise my hand because I didn't know if it was right or wrong. But then, when I actually raise my hand, I'm all of a sudden wrong? How does that make sense?
Okay, so you ever try to open a bag of chips but opening rips in the weirdest way? Now you're playing a mini game of how can I still get the chips without spilling them everywhere? And then once you get them out, you realize you've just made a mess, but at least the chips are still intact. Food is everything, guys. What about you guys?
Did you guys ever get so excited for those school book fairs? Because I remember I used to get so excited over them. My mom would give me like $20 to spend there, and I would only spend the money on those random little gadgets that they had. And there was like these cute little fluffy notebooks and cartoon themed pencils, especially those small little phones that weren't even real. And I thought those were so cool for no reason. They were just cool. Or sometimes I was just super excited for it and I just randomly got a book that I never ever read. It's probably still sitting somewhere in my house waiting for me to like touch it or open it slightly.
When you're deep in storytelling mode, thinking your bestie is right behind you, and then you realize you just trauma dumped on a complete stranger who being politely nodding for the past 30 seconds. Congrats! You unlocked accidental podcast mode. Meanwhile, your actual friend is 10 steps ahead, living her best life while you're out there forming and what an emotional bond. So yeah, what about you guys?
Do you ever have a group presentation in class you're doing, and once you get up and start presenting, you and your friends start looking at each other and start laughing and dying horrendously for absolutely no reason at all? It's the worst when you're in the same group together, honestly. Once in history, me and my 2 other friends got up to present our project, and most of the time we were just laughing uncontrollably for no reason, bro. Nothing about it was funny at all, and our teacher pointed it out as well, and we just started laughing even more than we did before, bro. It was honestly so embarrassing because the class was like dead silent and everyone was staring at us, so it was just like 3 kids just laughing so hard for no reason.
One time during a Zoom class, this girl turned her camera on and forgot her little brother was behind her, fully dressed as Spider-Man, scaling the bookshelf like it was the final boss. Mid-lecture, he lost grip and crash landed on a pile of Legos with the worst of the Marvel budget. Oh my god. She didn't even flinch, just muted herself and dragged him off screen like it was routine. It was so funny. Yeah.
When I used to play Tower of Hell like a sweat, I honestly took the game way too seriously because whenever I was raging at the obby and I kept falling or something, and I noticed at any time during the game there was someone making it to the top of the tower thing or whatever it's called, I would feel so evil and mischievous and decided that if they're going to win, I might as well sabotage them, okay? I would try everything in my power to sabotage them. I would buy every of those little ability things in the shop to somehow make them fall or die. Dude, I would buy everything until I had no money just so they would fall. I used to always do that and just quickly leave afterwards.
Okay, so you decide to finally organize your life. Start with your phone gallery, and 5 minutes in, you're deep in 2021 zooming in. You know, the screenshot of memes you don't even understand anymore. Then you find a picture of a snack you once loved and spent 10 minutes googling if it still exists, and your gallery is still chaos, just like your to-do list. So yeah, what about you guys? Okay, so why does my brain remember every embarrassing thing I did in 2015 but forget why I walked into the kitchen 5 seconds ago? What about you guys? Okay, so I'll open a new tab to do something important, but somehow end up Googling how fast octopus run without even realizing it. Then I close the tab, forget what I needed in the first place, and act like the detour was a part of the plan. After all, being randomly knowledgeable about octopus might come in handy someday. Probably not, but it just, feels justified in the moment. What about you guys? Does it ever happen to you guys? Like when the pencil your friend let you borrow low-key looks like the one you lost? Like you just sit there like, bro, is this a reunion or a robbery? Okay, so charged my phone all night just for it to die the moment I stepped outside. Apparently, it's as sad as I am. Spend the whole day pretending to work while actually working hard on avoiding work. What about you guys? Okay, so drop my phone on my face while texting in bed. Ouch. That really hurt, guys. It was a personal attack from gravity, but I just continued scrolling like nothing happened. So did it ever happen to you guys? Okay, so why does charging your phone at 99% feel like it takes 3 business days, but dropping from 100% to 64% takes like 30 seconds?
Sometimes I could be going out to a public place or something, and my mom would take a good look at me and make me sit down in the chair before I go for her to braid each piece of my hair. My mom is serious when it comes to undone hair and always wants to braid my hair, bro. And when she braids my hair, it feels like she's pulling each individual hair strand out of my scalp, bro. And then she complains about me not sitting still enough. Mother, how can I sit still when you are pulling my hair so hard to the point I'm about to fall off the chair? It hurts!
Okay, so every time I whisper, I got this, like a hero in a movie, then panic when I can't find my socks. I sit at the desk ready to work, but end up scrolling like it's full-time job. Like I tell myself everything's under control while doing the exact opposite of what I planned. Basically, I'm just out here winging life like a confused chicken on a mission, but yeah. So what about you guys?